As you can probably tell from the title of this video, it's called 2 PIFs in 2 days on a fitness offer. Now, to many of you, that may seem like, it's an easy feat, right? You have 2 PIFs maybe in a day, right? You might have 2 PIFs, every 2 hours, right? And the reason why I'm celebrating this small win for me is because, I'm still a beginner in this offer, right? I'm still learning the ropes of closing. I'm still, hoping to get better day by day. And honestly, over the last 3 weeks, seeing my development from ever since my first call till now, it's like a night and day difference. Now, of course, are there still things that I can still work on? Of course, right? I'm only 3 weeks into this whole closing thing. But the reason for this video is just to celebrate my small win of just, hitting 2 sales in 2 days, right? Paid in fulls. And the reason why I want to celebrate this is because it's not an easy offer to sell on. Like, I'm selling to 50-year-old ladies who want to lose some weight, that are overweight for 30 years of their life, right? And they blame it on external factors like their thyroid, premenopausal, postmenopausal, like their hormones and all that stuff, and that they don't really have control over their lives, right? That's the crowd that I'm selling to. The crowd that has zero accountability, the crowd that's really hard to sell to, right? The crowd that has a lot of limiting beliefs, not just within themselves, but within other people, other programs. Skepticism in different products, right? Everything out there works. There's an analogy that I really like to use, which is the difference between a Ferrari and a Kia getting you to a specific destination. Like, they're both going to get you there, right? The Ferrari, that might go faster and you might have a more luxurious feeling, but the Kia is just going to still take you there to the destination, right? So all these programs work, but selling to these to the demographic that I'm selling to is really hard. At least that's what I think, right? So I just want to celebrate that small win. I've been working tirelessly, like around 10-12 hours a day. Just 6 of those hours, so half of my day is actually on calls, right? If I get a no-show, I'm either dialing leads or I'm doing some form of training, right? And then the rest of the day I train. So that's role play, that's going through various resources that I have in sales, going through previous internal team meetings, and just really dissecting what the message is in the whole meeting, and just writing down my notes in this notepad, right? And just really trying to find that unfair advantage within me, because I have time, I have freedom, I don't really have any bills, so that works to my advantage. Whereas other people in my team, they have bills to pay, they have working other offers, they have other responsibilities that they need to attend to. Whereas me, I could focus 100% on my development. And I just want to celebrate the small win of my hard work so far, right? And the focus that I want to have for this video is really just to share what I've been doing and what my focus has been up until this point to get me to where I am right now, and also my focus for the future, whether that's in this offer or in another offer, and also my personal focus moving forward from this point ever since making this video. So the first one, my focus with this offer. Now, in the interview that I had with my 2 team leaders, right, that I said in the interview that I just want to hop on this offer because it seems like it has good lead flow, it seems like there's good development, and that's the reason why I'm here, which is just to get developed as a closer. And I understand that fitness is a relatively hard sale, so that's why I just want to jump into the deep end and just go balls to the wall in closing, right? My mentor even said, selling fitness to 50-year-old ladies that's like the final boss of sales. So, I'm finally seeing why he said that. And my purpose, I have notes on my screen by the way. So my purpose and the focus with this offer is just to get good at selling. Really understand the process that I'm using, whether it's NEPQ, Cole Gordon, Bill Walsh, who else? NEPQ, Bill Walsh, Cole Gordon, right? Those are the big names I can think of right now, right? Just getting good at one process, focusing on that process, memorizing the script, and also moving away from scripted selling, because I want to be someone who's versatile, right? Because in this offer, we only do phone selling. So you don't see my face, you don't see anything, you don't see that I'm reading a script, right? Whereas other offers, whereas like higher ticket, higher stakes, more B2B sort of setting, maybe they require a Zoom sort of meeting where, you know, body language is involved, right? Stuff like that. And the first step, I believe, in getting out of that cycle of phone selling and getting good at overall selling is just moving away from the script, right? Sounding less scripted, sounding more convicted and confident in the product and what we provide, right? Stuff like that, right? So that's really my focus with this offer. And then for my personal focus, what I want to focus in my personal life is really have something called a hygiene standard, right? Now, that's not really to say that, you know, wash your hands after you go to the toilet, like that's obvious stuff, right? But like hygiene standard as in, what do I hold myself to? What bar, what level do I want to hold myself to, right? Do I want to hold myself to an average standard, right? Which is fine, right? Where I go into interviews and go like, hey, what does your average guy do? How much does he make? Or do I want to be the person who holds myself to a standard higher than that? Where it's like, okay, what's your top guy doing? What's his close rate? What's his process? Send me like 5 of his calls and let me dissect them, right? Stuff like that. Where I want to hold myself to the standard of just being the best, being number one. Where I am able to, almost be an asset to that company rather than just be another salesperson, just going through the motions, just sort of willy-nilly throughout life, just like, you know, be a leaf in the wind, right? Which is totally fine. People live like that. I don't personally want to subscribe to that. But yeah, just having that high hygiene standard. And the stuff that I need to tackle within that is tracking my data, right? In sales and in personal life. Now in sales, like you track the basic things like closer projections, right? Like how much you're going to make this month by taking these amount of calls upon your close rate, right? Stuff like that, right? Basic stuff that closers should be doing. Also, close rate objections, all that. But also in my personal life as well. Like, why can't we take principles of business and apply it into our own lives? Like things like, you know, did I go to the gym today? Which I'm still trying to work on, right? But, after implementing this system, I think I will be more consistent with that, right? Tracking um, my sleep, tracking what I learn outside of sales, tracking my personal development, right? What books am I reading? Am I going out on runs? Am I being active? Am I taking control of all these other areas of my life rather than just sales, right? Because professional life, that's one half of your life. The other half is personal, right? Am I maintaining relationships? Things like that, right? I want to hold myself to a high hygiene standard so that I don't slip up and I don't go back into, a lesser version of me. And then after that, create more content. So I kind of want to switch up my content style, right? Right now it's just more talking head, more raw, more unedited, right? Which is fine, right? I consume this type of content, but at the same time, I want to make more content that's more, I guess, more entertaining, right? Something that I would want to watch more, right? Something that I want to be entertained by. And, the whole reason why I got into this whole content creation stuff isn't just to create my personal brand. Like, obviously that's nice, but, it may sound a little bit cringe, but ever since a young age, let's say in year 7, right, 2017, right, when I was around 11, 12 years old, I've always wanted to, put myself out there, right? I wanted to always like document the journey. And my my sport that I play, basketball, right? Like you see um, social media platforms like Overtime, right, where they document high schoolers, uh, like high school basketball kids' lives, right? Reporting their rise to stardom. That's something that I want to do, like something similar like here, right? Just document the journey, but less more of a, not so much of a talking head style like this, but more so like what I'm doing day to day. How am I preparing myself for these calls? Things like that, right? And also a big one that I've only learned over this last week or so, like the last 7 days literally, is just inputs only. Now, I've heard of this concept called, um, you know, just focus on the inputs and don't worry about the outputs, because the outputs will follow the inputs. Now, I've always understood that. However, it only clicked for me very recently, where I was like, oh my days, I've been missing out on so much sauce. Now, let me explain, right? This whole time when I was talking about hygiene standards, I want to be the best. I've always compared myself to other people, to where I want to beat this guy, I want to beat that guy. And it's always this constant, cycle of just wanting to do more, be more. Whereas if I just focus on inputs only, right, not really focus on the outcomes, right, where I just you go basically go through the motions, which is what I wasn't, which was something that I basically villainized when I was talking about hygiene standards, right? But that's how you become the best, which is just going through the motions, doing your process, not worrying about the outcome, because the outcome and the output will follow. And this is like a very like mind-blowing concept to me, where it's like if you get trapped in the source of comparing yourself to other people, then you'll always be trapped in there. You will never be satisfied. You'll never feel content. And you'll perform worse because of that, because you put this external pressure on yourself and this excess potential to where you think that you deserve it. But then like if you try too hard to attract something, then that thing will, stay away from you. It's like talking to a girl, right? If you're so desperate to get her number, then she'll be like, oh, what the fuck? Like that type of thing. So I just want to focus on inputs only and just follow my process, follow my gut feeling, follow my intuition, right? And then see where it goes. That's what I've been doing for the last week or so. And, it landed me 2 PIFs. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed the video, maybe connect me on my social medias, which I will link down below. And yeah,